Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about unconditional other acceptance. This is one of my favorite topics to cover. If you want to make sure you like and subscribe down at the bottom, and then put any questions or anything that you want me to review in the future. So unconditional other acceptance. So let's, break this down a little bit. So this is accepting other people, right? Having compassion for others. So how do you do that? First thing is you have to understand the worth of a human being, right? So the worth of a human is not based on anything. Just by being alive and human, you have intrinsic value. Therefore, you are serving your purpose, okay? So I'll use an example. So Ted Bundy, for example, he was a murderer, a hardcore, crazy murderer, and he would brutally murder and rape women, okay? So he is classified in today's society as a bad person, okay? So now if you asked his mother, she would say that he was the best son ever. Visited her on all the holidays, sent her gifts, was sweet, would call her regularly. As a child, he was very intelligent. All of his teachers said he was great. All of his friends loved him. Every woman he ever dated said he was a stud. He was super good looking. He's great at talking to women. Hilarious. All of his college professors, top in his class. A model citizen. In every aspect of his life, the best person. Anyone would tell you from up till then, right? So how do we measure a man, right? So it's non-existent. It's not possible. So you can't be like, oh, well, murder's worth 5 points. So we're going to say he did this many murders. We're going to add that together. And all of these good deeds are worth 2 points. This one's worth 3. This one's worth 5. We're going to create a mathematical equation based on this percentage. He's at a 61%, which is a D, which, if you were to go off of school, that would be a D minus, which a C is like kind of passable. So he's not a great person. It's not something that's measurable. You can't measure a human. No one is completely good. No one is completely bad. It's literally impossible. Okay. So that's the first thing, understanding people and measuring people. Now, obviously the things that he did were really messed up and really bad, in the manner of the things that he did, but not him as an individual. There are not only bad people, there are maybe bad acts or things that are unfavorable. In different societies, different things are good and bad. For example, in some places in the Middle East, and there's people who get married at 14 or 15 years old. But here, if you get married at 14 or 15, you're a pervert. Okay? Completely different societies, different religions, right? And neither one are good or bad. This is just an example that I'm using, right, for people who are really looking at this. Now, the other thing to really look at is people in general. So by design, we are created to be fallible. We make mistakes. We do things that are wrong, even some that are self-destructive. For example, drinking, smoking, doing drugs, or maybe doing dumb things that we shouldn't do because they give us a high or make us feel good or make us happy. Eat a bunch of greasy cheeseburgers because they're good, but they're really bad for you and they're going to give you a heart attack, okay? We're designed to mess things up, okay? Also, what you have to look at is environment, okay? So you look at where were they born? What part of the country? What part of the world? What was their poverty level? What was their race? Their religion? What was their family like? Did they use drugs growing up? Was there alcohol abuse? Was there mental abuse? Was there physical abuse? Genetically, do they have mental or physical problems? When you're able to look at all of those things of a person and be able to see all of those things about them, you're able to really understand that individual. And I think that's really, really important, okay? And then in situations that are occurring, you have to put yourself in a place of that person, of who they are, where they've been, and their experiences, so you can understand why they feel that way. So, for example, one thing that I will do is I will try to put myself in that person's shoes, to really look at them and understand their perspective. And when I do that, I'm able to really displace my own personal emotions, and I'm able to understand why they would feel the way they would feel, and then it gets rid of my emotions completely. Now, another thing that really helped me with unconditional other acceptance was really getting in control of my anger and understanding anger and the patterns that occurred with others, and understanding that you yourself make yourself angry. No one else makes you angry. So no one has any entitlement for making you feel any kind of way. You make yourself feel every single kind of way. And then not avoiding situations where anger can occur, and not trying to necessarily express my anger, but just like anxiety, we're telling you to feel those feelings and feel those emotions, because over time you desensitize yourself and make it so you're able to feel them and then make them not a big deal. And then looking at your emotions towards other people and how you should be treated, also with universal deservingness, thinking that you deserve something, that you should be treated a certain way, which is complete bullshit. You don't deserve anything, and no one should treat you any kind of way. When you're able to really look at that, and displace and break down your irrational beliefs towards others when it comes to things that they should do towards you, then when you completely get rid of your emotions when it comes to others, you're able to understand them in a way that is very empathetic, very compassionate, and it makes you able to communicate on a level that is amazing. It's beautiful, honestly. When someone can come to you frustrated, irritated, yell, scream, upset, and you can logically tell them that they're handling the situation emotionally, and that you appreciate them for coming to you and expressing how you feel, and you understand how they feel, and you're able to walk them through what they're going through and walk them through the logical explanation to help displace their emotions, so they can therefore not be angry or upset or irritated. It can help you for someone who has a mental disorder. My mother, I love her very much, has borderline personality disorder, and I used to not have a relationship with her at all because of some of the things she would do. And now I have zero expectations, and I can let her be herself, and I don't get frustrated at her constantly, because I love my mom, and I've always loved my mom, but I let my irrational beliefs about how she should treat me get in the way. You're able to really see people for what they really are, and really understand them. And once you can understand someone and see their motivations and what brought them to that conclusion, you put yourself in a position of just true compassion, where you can really help someone, and you can really listen and be there for someone, and you cannot get frustrated. Probably one of the best things that ever happened to me was, so I read this book, I think Nick told me to read it. It's How to Control Your Anger Before Your Anger Controls You by Albert Ellis. And I don't know if this said this in the book, but so if you look at anger, because this is my biggest problem with unconditional other acceptance, I was getting frustrated at people. If you look at the emotion in itself, and you look at its value and what it has, how much value does it actually have? So in a fight, even in a fight, it might not. It doesn't give you value. Now, it's okay and normal to be frustrated and irritated, or maybe a little angry. But any kind of emotion that you hold on to for a long basis that is like that is unhealthy, and it's not good for you, and it holds zero value. And since it has no appeal in helping, as in like, it doesn't do anything for you. It's not a positive, helpful thing. When you can displace those emotions in yourself, you can truly be able to accept others and be able to see people for who they are. And then the amazing thing about it is you'll be able to understand yourself. And sometimes you'll be like, oh, I get it. I've been in your exact same situation. And also, hey, this is something that I've been working on. I'm glad you brought this up. And you're able to really see people for who they are. Unconditional other acceptance was probably one of the most difficult things for me to do in my journey. But once I really worked on it and really pushed in this direction, it was the thing that I needed. It was the last big thing that was really holding me back, because I was holding on to these aggressive, angry emotions that were just making me uncomfortable all the time. And when I really looked at those emotions and displaced them, I was able to truly accept others. So in conclusion, unconditional other acceptance can be a game changer for your life, and it can help you help yourself and others and give you a completely different view on the entire world. So anyways, well, thank you guys for your time. I hope you have a great day.